Hey guys, my name is Justin and welcome to my new channel. Very excited for this. I know there are a lot of other tech channels already on YouTube, and while I'm bummed that I did not create this sooner, I know I can bring something a little different to the table, and hopefully we can share some laughs together, learn some things, and I promise to make this as entertaining as I can. So a little about me. I created this channel, Hardware I.O., because I really want to share my passion with everyone. Technology has been such a huge part of my everyday life, and anyone who knows me knows that to be very true. I always become everyone's IT guy or the guy they ask for recommendations from when they're purchasing something new, whether it's a new phone, computer, whatever. I'll give you a quick timeline of my life in relevance to this channel. When I was 6 years old, I was the only kid that I knew of in my school that had their own personal computer. Their parents, maybe, but not their own computer. Now I get it. Lots of kids have computers. I know. But let me take you back to 1994. Before Y2K, before cell phones were such a big thing, before you could even be on the home phone and the internet at the same time. Well, little 4-year-old me already knew their way around a Mac and a PC pretty fluently, while at this time adults were still trying to navigate their way through computers just to do what we would consider today pretty basic tasks. My dad had such a love for computers and knew they were the future. While some people at this time didn't want to be bothered with them, didn't understand them, or really just didn't want to spend the money on them at this point, he made sure to teach me everything he knew, and I soaked all of this up like a sponge. Fun fact, while I was growing up, you always heard of fathers and their sons working together, whether they rebuilt an engine or tuned the carbs together. This was, and kind of still is, like a rite of passage between a father and a son. But my dad did things a little different. He used to work on everyone's computers and would always have a bunch of hard drives lying around. Hard drives used to fail so much more frequently back then, but he used to hand them to me. When I was 4, this is when he started, and he handed them to me with a precision little screwdriver set, and he would ask me to take them apart. And then when I got comfortable with that, he asked me to take them apart and then rebuild them. I definitely struggled as a 4-year-old on, I was good at taking this stuff apart, but putting it all back together, trying to comprehend, all this that I just disassembled and where it went, took a little bit. But he gave me a little goal to achieve, and he said if I can successfully take one of these hard drives apart and put it back together, he would buy me or build me my own computer. And that is all I needed to hear. I hit the ground running. I got so excited because his passion also was what I was into. I thought these things were so cool. And so I really went to work on taking apart a hard drive and putting it back together. And it took some time. Definitely ruined, you know, I definitely broke already broken hard drives. And then as I got a little more comfortable, I definitely broke hard drives that were working. Uh, but it's all part of the learning curve, I guess. But eventually, when I was 5, I was able to put that back together, and I showed him. He plugged it in. It was a working hard drive, even after I touched it. And so he said, "Okay, I'm gonna get you a computer," and he did. It took a little bit because I remember I was 6 years old when I finally got that computer, and I was so excited. That was just like a life-changing moment for me. And all of my friends at the time, they would come over. They wanted to check this thing out, surf the web, whatever. We'd go on sites like, I don't think it was available at the time, but Newgrounds was a pretty big Flash HTML gaming website back then. But it was just something cool. It was something that a lot of people at this time, which is weird to think about, but a lot of people at this time, that would be 1996, did not have computers. A lot of people did. It was quickly becoming a thing, but especially a kid, they didn't have their own computer. So that was unique. Um, yeah. So fast forward a little bit, to my friends growing up, I definitely became the Napster, Bearshare, LimeWire guy. And anyone who doesn't know what those programs are can definitely Google them. But then I became the guy uh, who had CDs, DVDs, games, so on. But growing up, I was so into computers. I would definitely any money I would get, I would dump it into upgrading my computer. It was such a fun hobby at this time. And then you know, and then growing up, a little past that, Jackass became such a big thing, the TV show. And so since I was such a tech guy already, I had, cameras, I had the computer, I had Windows Movie Maker, Sony Acid Pro for soundtracks, and I was already kind of dabbling in this stuff anyway. But when that show became really popular, everybody was hitting me up saying, "Dude, we want you to record what we're doing. We want you to make it into like little clips or videos." And so I definitely, grabbed my stuff. Again, I was super excited because now I get to make a clips or movies for my friends and show them my skills. And so yeah, definitely kind of alongside that show, I was recording my friends skateboarding, boxing, snowboarding, um, jumping when we had our licenses, jumping cars, kind of really thrashing cars. But we were always just doing crazy things, and I don't know if he'd want me to tell you. I'm not gonna say his name, but I had a buddy. He was part of this group, and he kind of was, well, let's just say he was like the Chris Pontius of the group. So he loved to streak in public places. Yeah, he definitely went for that shock and awe moment. And so, just all together between the group, it was definitely kind of like a little Steve-O, Knoxville, Bam, Pontius kind of vibe thing going on. But it was super cool. We made tons of videos. Um, None of them ever really seen the light of day. It was just kind of for us. But in that stage, I was kind of like the digital arts guy, just making movies for everybody, getting to share my passion with them. All right, so the big kind of momentum shift was in 2007 when Steve Jobs announced the iPhone. Like many others, I went from using technology to appreciating technology because the iPhone, when it launched at that time, whether you like iPhone or not, it was it was amazing. It was nothing short of amazing, and it was kind of the first time, along with the iPod, I guess just really what Apple was doing at that time. It was kind of the first time technology was becoming beautiful because everything around it was just this gray or off-white, yellowish kind of hardware. It was all plastic and it was just disgusting, but it was the norm, so nobody, you just used it. It was like, cool, all right. You appreciated what it did versus how it looked. And when Steve Jobs announced his products, it was like, oh, you can have the best of both worlds, kind of like a car. It can have the horsepower and it can be beautiful at the same time. So there was definitely this shift of, for me at least, just more appreciation out of what you're using, just in the simplest form of its design. But of course, I definitely got an iPhone on launch date. I was just super stoked about it. But for a while, I dabbled in Android and iOS. Got a job with Helio Mobile when that was still a thing, and at one point became their highest selling employee. Left that place right before Virgin Mobile bought them out and went over to T-Mobile. So I had the Helio devices, and then when Android really became a thing with Google, the G1, the Nexus, and so on, I always had an iPhone and something Android. Even though there was this like battle, and there still kind of is, but even though there was this like iOS or Android, it wasn't my thing. It was just like cool, two sides to a coin. You know, I wanted to appreciate it all, and I still appreciate it all. It's just such a technology in itself is just advancing and doing such crazy things that it's hard not to sit back and just appreciate what we have now. It's super cool, and definitely growing up became like the biggest spokesperson for these companies to my group of friends, and it always seemed like whatever excited me the most at the time, all of a sudden, one by one, my friends had it. And even to this day, people text me all the time, and um, I got a buddy who's building a computer right now and asked me to kind of give him a build list and whatnot. But um, yeah, it's hard not to get passionate about this stuff. It's super cool. It changes people's lives, and they're nothing short of incredible, really. Whether it's phones, computers, laptops, tablets, GoPros, drones, and VR, AR. There's just so much incredible stuff. And I love to talk about it. I really love to talk about it. So I hope you love to hear it. And I hope you love to hear it from me. I know I'm not Linus or Kyle or Lyle from Bitwit. Um, I'm no Gamers Nexus. I'm not gonna dive deep into the weeds of the technical specs. Anybody can Google that, and I don't know. I want it to be. I'm not dogging on him, but I want it to be a little more entertaining, you know? So hardware I/O, what does it mean? Hardware input output. It's the stuff that I want to cover. You know, it's pretty much every electronic device has an input or output. So it kind of covers pretty much everything. I want to talk about it all, from phones to drones to tablets to future technologies to all the stuff you don't even see that are running in the background, that are helping everything out. And then the other meaning behind hardware I/O is I felt it was pretty fitting for this channel because so we're talking about hardware, which is just amazing in itself, but I want to take the input from you guys. I'm definitely going to read the comments, and then you're coming to see me output information. So it's really this give and take. And I definitely want to see it grow into something just awesome for everybody to come to and get the latest news. And even if you don't like me, maybe you'll learn something. And it can just be, if you just use it as talking head videos and let it play in the background, that's all right with me too. That's totally okay. All right, but the big push for this channel, my wife and I are expecting our first child soon, and I want to be able to show my little one day how big of a nerd her dad is, and maybe create that same spark that my dad did for me, for her. What I hope this channel will become is a place for you to get info on the latest tech, news for upcoming devices, entertainment, laughs, even if it's at my expense, and to build a community, a place for hanging out and chatting about our passions. Maybe collab with already outstanding channels. Hardware I/O in its name, hardware input, output. I promise to listen to feedback and grow with this channel, and hopefully the content gets better as we go along. I'll close this out with saying I definitely appreciate any views I get, any likes I get, any comments that come my way. I'm gonna listen to it, and I appreciate it. I don't foresee this channel blowing up into anything quite like what Linus did, but I definitely appreciate you clicking on this video and staying with me this far. But yeah, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see upcoming videos, hit that subscribe button. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Boop, boop. That's a wrap, boys. No, you wrap it up. That's over. There's nothing else. I think I kind of covered. The panda has no nipples. I don't believe you. But I don't have any snare in my headphones. I screwed up my own joke. We started already? I don't think so.
Please hang up and try again.